Hey guys, Claire here with Jumprope Revival, where we're here to train our body and soul. In today's video, I'm going to go over some key points to proper form when jumping rope. Before I talk about physical form, I'd first like to talk about spiritual form. Don't you wish you had an instruction manual for life? Well, guess what? We do. It's the Bible. The Bible is filled with wisdom, advice, instructions, and assurance for life. And that's exactly what Paul did in 1 Thessalonians, which is our Bible devotion for today. It comes from 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verses 14 through 18. And Paul is talking to the church of Thessalonian, giving them advice. And this is what it says. Brothers and sisters, we urge you to warn those who are lazy. Encourage those who are timid. Take tender care of those who are weak. Be patient with everyone. See that no one pays back evil for evil, but always try to do good to each other and to all people. Always be joyful. Never stop praying. Be thankful in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you who belong to Christ Jesus. Now this is just great advice and great instructions that we need to remember and to use in our everyday life. Not only is spiritual form important, but also physical form is important, especially in everyday activities, even something as simple as picking up a box. Now, a lot of people think jumping rope is a high-impact sport, when actually, if you have the proper form, it's a very low impact. So let's start from the top. Your head. Your head needs to be up and your eyes need to be forward. A lot of times what people do, especially beginners, is they want to look down. They want to look down at their feet to try to either time their feet or see the rope as it's going underneath their feet. Two problems with that. One, looking down, you can't see the rope. The rope is going so fast, so you're going to end up tripping on it or just ruining your rhythm and your timing. The second thing that's wrong with that is when you put your head down, it throws your neck and your shoulders out of alignment. Now your shoulders. Your shoulders need to be back and your chest needs to be high. They kind of go hand in hand because once you put your shoulders back, your chest kind of goes up high. And when you have your shoulders back, it's almost as if you want to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Next, we're going to go down to our stomach. Our abs need to be tight and engaged. And then our back needs to be straight. Then we go to our glutes. Our glutes also need to be tight and engaged. And with those three things, your glutes being engaged, your stomach being engaged, and your back straight, it's almost as if that acts as a wall, protecting your spinal cord and your lower back. Let's talk about elbows. Your elbows need to be in, close to your body, controlled, and slightly back. A lot of times what people do, especially beginners, is they think they need to use their arms. So they start throwing their arms around and around. And actually, that just is a waste of energy, and it also can throw off your timing and your rhythm. When you're jumping rope, less is more. Let's talk about your hands. Your hands need to have a firm grip, but yet be relaxed. Your thumbs need to be placed on top of the handles and pointing towards the rope. They also need to be level with your hips and come slightly out from your hips. If you have your hands too far forward, what happens when you're jumping is that the rope tends to hit too soon, causing you to trip. If you have them too far back, the rope hits too late, causing you to trip. Also, they need to be parallel with the ground. If they're not parallel with the ground and one hand is up versus the other, what happens is when the rope rotates, it rotates unevenly, also causing you to trip. That brings me to your wrists. Your wrists do most of the work. So what you want to do is keep your hands in the position that we just discussed, and what you want to do is just make small circles, and basically all you're using are your wrists and your forearms. So moving on down, we get to our knees. Now you want to have your knees just slightly bent to act as an absorption. You don't want to bend them completely or too far, because what that does is that puts added stress and pressure on your ankles and your knees and probably your lower back as well. So just very slightly bent. Think of a spring. If you were to bend a spring and you bend it too far, it just puts pressure and strain on it too much. Lastly, let's talk about our feet. Now you want all of your body weight to be on the balls of your feet and your heels to be raised up. Think about it. If you are jumping up and down onto the heels and the bottoms of your feet, that's going to cause unnecessary impact and possible injuries. So again, you want your weight forward on the balls of your feet, heels up, and then you want to jump ever so slightly, just enough to get the rope underneath your feet, maybe an inch, 2 inches at the very most. You also want your feet together, but not touching. So now taking those from head to toe, for ease, try and think of this. Pretend there's an imaginary line or wall in front of you, and an imaginary line or wall behind you. You want to try to stay in between those lines and not put your body out of alignment. The minute any part of your body goes out of those lines, either forwards or backwards or in any way, that can cause unnecessary impact and injury. Okay guys, I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Give me a like, please subscribe to my channel, and you could also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And as always, have a blessed day and let's get training. That was the quickest I did.